The compelling scenes, the inspiring music, the heartfelt praise.
The best part about it is the teachers. They're very nice.
To most audiences, those elements alone would ensure the acceptance of this short video as valid documentation of a notable educational institution. But this audience is different. This audience has been taught by the North Shore Country Day School, where
you learn to look a little deeper, and you learn to look at everything. And with that knowledge, you look at the world in a totally new perspective.
A perspective shaped by an extraordinary school and its impressive history of collaborative learning.
We believe that kids need to learn to cooperate first before they learn to compete with each other. That you need to be asking yourself, what's the best I can do, not can I do better than you?
What we wanted was a smaller, intimate, academically rigorous, challenging environment, and we find that it is available here in spades.
Academically, athletically, artistically. At the North Shore Country Day School, there's no getting around it.
Even if we try to hide, we can't.
So the musician must take to the athletic field, while the athlete must take to the stage. Naturally, there is some reluctance at first.
And you're pushed. You're not pushed like in a bad way, but the encouragement is there to really get involved.
You get exposed to things that you wouldn't otherwise, and you realize that you like them. I mean, I never did sports until I came here, and I think it's really benefited me a lot.
Because I think if you're not good at it, and maybe if they push you to do it and it turns out you like it, and you just never had the guts to try it in the first place, maybe that'll make your future.
If not your future, then at least your future satisfaction.
How fun is it in the world, in life, when you're doing things, to not feel comfortable if someone says, let's go for a boat ride, let's go water skiing, not wanting to try anything, because no one ever encouraged you to try it. No, in life, you need to be willing, I don't want to say take risks, it's such a cliche these days, but children here are encouraged to take one step beyond what they think they can do.
Did you understand it? Yeah. Could you reproduce it?
There's so many good things that have come out of North Shore academically for me. It's incredible. I never would have thought that I would apply to Yale.
Maybe all it took was a word of encouragement, a question answered, a problem solved.
Some of the best teaching that I've ever done at this school was in the corridor, was in the stairwell, was on the way to an assembly. Teaching happens in a lot of different places.
And I feel it's essential that as teachers, we provide students with opportunities to learn how to develop people skills. There's constant learning through experience as well as sharing either information that was gained through research or just through living.
She is our oldest living graduate, Mrs. Kay Moordock Adams, from the class of 1921. Give her a very warm welcome.
What would a morning exercise be without an exercise in living life to its fullest?
O'er the fields of waving purple, North Shore colors fly.
For nearly 80 years, this wondrous blend of tradition and innovation, this glorious mix of thought and expression, has resulted in a special kind of graduate, one who never forgets those lessons learned.
And we learned how to get up and speak to a group of people. Or I don't think I would be, if I hadn't learned it, then I don't think I would be here talking to you today. I would be too scared.
A practical, real-world tribute, echoed by Dr. Deborah Edidin, North Shore Country Day, class of 1966.
I can't think of a single college professor that has influenced me as deeply and for as long a time as any of a number of teachers at North Shore.
A feeling shared by businessman Stuart Rogers, class of 74.
And I shudder to think of what it would have been like if I had not been exposed to this whole way of thinking, about how you interact with humanity. If it hadn't started here, I'd just be a totally different person.
One who might not have discovered through school-sponsored clothing drives or volunteer tutoring duty.
That giving can be a way for growth, helping out a community, but also growing yourself.
Growing to understand from the earliest age that even the simple pairing of an upper school boy or girl with a primary school buddy can make for a profound experience.
It is the coolest thing in the entire world. I love it. My buddies are the coolest kids, and I love them.
A tiny gesture played out in the privacy of a small school. What possible impact could that have in the world at large?
Small amounts of good people have been able to do large amounts of good things.
Never doubt that a small group of people could change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has.
We're all just very small in this world. I think the important thing is for the individual to feel that they can impact some part of the world in some way.
I can't think of another school that graduates people as deeply enriched in so many ways as a North Shore graduate.
It's, at some level, a romance. You fall in love with the place. And it takes a piece of you to do that.